Oh man, these boys dropped another one. Some people have asked, like, where do I find some of these videos, or why am I talking about the Atlanta Hawks so much? If you guys don't know, the San Antonio Spurs are actually in a perfect position. We own a lot of the Atlanta Hawks future, and if they're really bad by 2025, that benefits us like crazy. And coming across things like this, it's actually through Reddit, believe it or not. A lot of Atlanta Hawks fans on Reddit are not happy with their team, and then they often, tag things like this. So, yeah, let's talk about this video.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so 92.9 the game had something to say about the Atlanta Hawks finishing the season. I saw some of this, and man, oh man, they are not happy. I know we did another video and they weren't happy in that one as well, but yeah, it seems like it's ramping up just a little bit on how they feel about one particular player on the team, and it's not Dejounte. It's not Dejounte.
What did you say that pissed people off this weekend?
Let me go back and look at my Twitter account here.
Forgive me, guys. I got to speed it up just a little bit. I know people hate that, but look, it's like a 10-minute video. Come on, you got to bear with me. Let's go.
Here. Oh, I know what it was. I go, Trae doesn't play for me, and now after getting kicked out, he doesn't play for you either.
All I got was...
Okay, it's too fast. I'm sorry. You're right. It's too fast. He already talks fast. Sorry. Play.
Dukes, what's wrong with Bell? I'm like, what? I don't know. I'm out here trying to score a 68. What are you guys talking about?
I mean, you can text me directly. You can talk to the white guy. I mean, I'll answer your questions.
Well,
but
people always want to bring me into it. Listen, we are a show. Right. We do well. I love my partner, but at the end of the day, we do have independent thoughts. Okay, I don't
connected like my son.
No,
telekinetic mind meld.
I don't think everything Mike thinks, and Mike doesn't think everything I think. So I get it when you guys come at me.
Can I say something? I wish the San Antonio Spurs had an outlet that was this animated. Like, I wish we had an outlet that was this much fun. This is a lot of fun, and I know technically I'm in the Spurs media space, right? So, I try to listen to other Spurs media people, and it's just not good. I mean, it's just not good. I'm not good. I'm trash. So, I don't know. I wish we had people like this.
Dukes, man, what's up with Bell? Like, I don't know. But you said that, and people took offense to it.
I said not talking about Trae Young, and I actually used the Trae Young because, again, unlike some people in the media, if I'm going to say something about someone, I will put it in their neck of the woods so they know it directly and not being misquoted. So I went at the Trae Young.
Yeah.
Lest there be any confusion, because there was last time you went at me and called me a hoe and said, shut up, hoe, I don't play for you, because he's very mature and classy like that. But anyway, this was after.
Trae Young said that? Dude, I already told you guys, you know how I feel about Trae Young. That's lame. Really? He went at dude like that?
A hoe and says, shut up, hoe, I don't play for you.
That's crazy.
He's very mature and classy like that. But anyway,
That's
this
terrible.
was after we said he showed no leadership the week that the coach got fired and no leadership the week that the coach got hired. As far as being there, answering questions the way other guys did. Either way, I said, not talking about Trae Young. He doesn't play for me. And after the boneheaded technical, not for you either tonight. Because it was a boneheaded technical.
That's such a good comeback. Okay, this is good media personality right here.
And much like his counterpart, Luka Doncic, who's about to sit for a game, these add up. And Trae was on the cusp of 16. 16 gets you an automatic one-game suspension. And we're trying to lock into some semblance of a play-in game. So you got to table that for a minute. And by the way, I'm the biggest supporter of players crapping on the refs because the NBA officials are garbage. We know that. But you've got to maintain some degree of maturity and common sense. And you wing the ball at the ref, and now you get the gate, and they got to hang on to win that game.
And they did. And John Collins stepped.
I remember that game. I actually did watch that game. Trae Young is very immature. I'm sorry. Like, if he has to be the face of your franchise, that's not good. I'm not expecting him to even be on the team too much longer. That's just my take on it when it comes to the Atlanta Hawks. But that's the outsider looking in me. I don't think Trae Young would be there.
Up, and a lot of guys did what they should have done, which is they go above and beyond. You win without Trae on the floor, which, by the way, begs the question. Sometimes this year, we've seen it. Without him on the floor, the team has looked more fluid. It's just facts.
Well, him and Dejounte, whenever they're on
I hate those takes. I hear those takes all the time with other teams as well. No. Yes, you're forced to play more fluid. You're forced to distribute the ball a little bit better. But even though I don't like Trae Young, and I don't think that he's a great leader, or I don't think he can be the face of the franchise and you be successful. I also won't go as far as to say when push comes to shove and you get into the playoffs that having Trae Young off the court is more beneficial than have him on the court. I've seen quite a few Atlanta Hawks fans say, why don't we just build around Dejounte Murray? So silly. That's just not going to work. The problem here is just the fact that, look, the front office is just all over the place when it comes to who they've hired. It's just so many, like, oh, this is my friend, so I hired him. Oh, this is my cousin, I'm hiring him. Like, it's too much nepotism. Okay, it's too much going on there. And then on top of it, you got a leader who's just not a great leader. It's gonna have to be a rebuild. And I know that's my bias talking, because I want them to rebuild by 2025. But that's just what it's coming down to. It looks like it's gonna have to be a full-on rebuild. And that's I don't know.
It doesn't work. It hasn't worked, and maybe, I mean, what do you need, another year to see if it's going to work? I mean, how long does that need to jive?
I think it's been what it's been all season.
You know, and Dejounte, by the way, we were giving Dejounte all the credit in the world for being aggressive and saying the right things and showing leadership and playing defense. And I'm going to be honest, Dejounte's not exactly the great defender I thought he was, or at least he's not putting the effort in. And whether that's a byproduct of looking at the other superstar and says he does it selectively, so why am I breaking my balls?
No. The reason being is because Dejounte is not a on-ball lockdown defender like people will make you believe. I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's just the truth. Even when he was with the Spurs, I've always said, and I got a lot of heat for this, I always said I felt as if Derek White was a better overall defender. Even though Dejounte Murray was capable of getting more steals, even though his statistics looked better, I always thought Derek White was a better defender overall. I felt like he was a little bit more versatile. I thought he was a better on-ball defender, and I always thought that he was a higher IQ defender. And when it comes to Dejounte, he's an opportunist. He can use his length really well. He gets between the lanes really well. He can get some steals. That's what he is. That's what he's really good at. And then he gets those transition points, and it adds up, right? Like that's who he is. But he was never just a great on-ball defender ever. And a lot of Atlanta Hawks fans thought that's what they were getting.
I don't know. And by the way, just one more note on my tweet about Trae.
Yes.
If you think
one that pissed people off.
If you think that winging the ball at the ref when you're hanging out of your fingernails to a play-in spot is smart, there's really not much I can say to you. All right, again, if you think someone calling somebody a hoe on Twitter is, oh, he showed Mike. Again, you're a mental midget. There's nothing, a mental small person. Whatever
mental
midget. You got to say proper nomenclature.
What is
You're
that?
an idiot. Okay, so
What?
I don't care. And I don't care. And by the way, I'm not doing Hawks tickets next year because I'm not interested like I was. It has nothing to do with Trae. It's the team as a whole. This thing is not going like it should. This thing was exciting in the summer, and it's not been exciting all year for me as a fan, if I'm honest, with those 10 games I bought.
Is there anything else you want to get off your
That's
chest?
about it.
10 games, that's a lot of money.
And again,
You sure? It sounds like a lot of build-up
But
right
when
now.
a star
This is
player says he
coming
doesn't
out.
play for me and wants to call me names, well, then I could also, again, my tiny little pittance of $1,500 could go to something else.
Why are you guys not getting more views than this? 700. I'm tagging it in below. It's not like I get a lot of views, but this is ridiculous. This is a great video. This is so entertaining. Oh my God.
All coming out right now.
Oh, you brought this up, so I'll take it down this road.
So now it's my fault. I'm your therapist. Tell me how you really feel.
I know when I left.
I love them.
I know when I left
I love
home
them.
to go for my first job, my dad came along too to hang around and pump me up. No, that's right, he didn't. That's right, he didn't do for you either. Because no one does that. Be a man, grow up, show some maturity. I'm
love
glad
it.
you're playing more defense. Leadership. You started showing some signs of it, and this team just is like a roller coaster. And I think it's a direct reflection of the star player. How's that? Too much?
No, AJ, I'm letting you vent. Because
And he's not the only one. My cat food just dispensed. She ran over there. He's not the only one that says this at all, by the way. Like, there's a lot of Hawks fans that feel this way. I actually think that's why I can get away with making like all these Atlanta Hawks videos, and I don't get called out that often on it, is because it's very similar to like when I hear someone trash talk like the Dallas Cowboys, right? I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but like I hate them too. So yeah, it's trash talk them, right? Like I don't know. It's yeah.
obviously it needed to be done.
Needed to be said.
All right. Hawks win 143-130. That was Saturday against the Pacers. And again, Capella, 17 points, 17 boards. JC stepped up. Big game. Sunday, we lose against the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja. Now, Trae did play well yesterday. Ja had 27 and 6. It wasn't as if Trae didn't play well. But here's the thing, guys, and ultimately this is the thing. We've talked about this, and I don't know if this is his attitude. I would like to believe that it's not. I got mine, but you lose is not winning. That's not winning. So you can tell me that he got 28 and 10, which is a great game. But when you are stacking L's, Mike, and you're consistently doing that, and your team is on the bottom, of the conference when you start talking about play-in tournament, I'm sorry, that it doesn't translate to wins, and that's what I always tell people. It's like, well, he's scoring, he's doing all the things. I'm not putting this solely on Trae. The team right now is inefficient. We don't play enough defense. There are a lot of things that we need to fix. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here and tell you I got mine and you're taking L's.
And that's another thing. Look, we can debate what this team is, what it isn't. I mean, it's just a bad team. It's a mediocre team because of the inconsistency. And if you said it, if you look strictly at the stat sheet, you could say, okay, DeAndre Hunter, 17 points, that's not too shabby. You need the big buckets at the end. You need Dukesism, right? You always say nut cutting time.
Yeah.
Who's taking the shot? Who's making things happen? Dejounte Murray wasn't doing particularly well defending. Look, John Morant's one of the best in the business. We get that.
Dejounte Murray is not going to lock down a John Morant. That's just not going to happen. I can't really recall. I'll be honest. I can't really, at least with him being with the Spurs, I can't recall a time in which he locked down a star player or at the very least held them in some way where it was significant. Like a superstar player, that is. Is he he's a above average defender for sure. Like, it's not like he's a trash defender or anything like that, right? But for the most part, no. Like, DeJounte Murray is going to not lock down John Morant. Like, no.
Collins was a non-factor in this game. He did get some boards for you, but John's a guy, you said it, Saturday night he's the man. And then Sunday, not as much. And then there's the other thing. This is beyond Trae and beyond, any beefs I have with this organization, but they did give Bogey this money, and Bogey can't play 2 nights in a row. Can he?
10 points last night. Yesterday. It was an early start, so 10 points yesterday.
So it was a 5 o'clock start followed by a 6 o'clock start. But I mean, at this stage, you just gave a guy a big contract that he's 30 years old, and Bogey seems like he can't give you physically 2 nights in a row.
No, I thought they would let him explore the market, but obviously they feel like he's a keeper. So that doesn't mean he won't be traded.
But 2 for 7 from threes, and that's his job.
It's his job. He's got to give you points off the bench. There's no doubt. It's Dukes and Bell at Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Big Bo, he is here with us. He is our engineer, executive producing.
Dukes and Bell.
That's what it came down to at the end of this one.
What?
Quinn Snyder talking about missing shots.
If you're open, some guys, Bogey's going to take that shot. Someone else may pull through and drive it. Some guys might do either. But we can't let that mentality dictate how we play. If it's like, if we're on or not, it's just got to be the way we play.
And they missed some open shots. That's the thing. Down to 3, and then some ill-advised shots. And by the way, Memphis kind of kept you in because they were launching some threes.
Yep.
The guy named Bain was on fire for a little bit.
Yeah, Desmond Bain's a baller, man.
You think you can control my 3-point shot? But yeah, there's some stuff going on with a team that's super athletic and big, and they want to intimidate you defensively too. And they kind of did some of that.
As far as Trae, this is what he said about needing to shoot more threes when they're open.
We're all just trying to create for each other. We probably got to shoot a little bit more threes when we're open instead of just waiting for the closeout. But, I mean, we'll get better at that. I think that's something that Coach, it's new for us. As he emphasizes shooting more threes, and guys just, just haven't really necessarily been told to shoot it every time whenever you get it. So I think that's good for our team, and it's gonna help us in the long run.
The Grizzlies shot 39.4%. But again, I'm trying to give you some new, fresh takes on this Hawks team. But here's one thing that happens every time we lose.
What's that?
They don't hit their threes, and their opponents do. They don't play perimeter defense. And to your point that Trae just made there, Hawks were 7 of 31 from 3. I mean, there's the problem. And I know that we don't like to shoot as much as other teams that analytically just keep launching threes, but we got to make ours, especially when we got those open bucks.
I think we get the gist of it. They're tired. They are absolutely tired of this team. In particular, Trae Young, and it sounds like a little bit of DeJounte Murray too. This is a good sign if we're a Spurs fan. All right, if you're a Spurs fan out there, this is a great sign. If you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, I truly am sorry. Nothing against you. I'm gonna keep laughing at you, but promise, it's nothing against you. It's just the fact that we really need this. I mean, we really need this. We were really screwed over with the Kawhi Leonard situation. We were really just absolutely destroyed when that happened. And, you know, we didn't have a clear direction for a while now. And now it just seems like the path is opening up, and you guys are part of that path, okay? You're going to help make San Antonio Spurs history. So I really do appreciate the Atlanta Hawks. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, as always, clanthemerchfan.com or become a Patreon and YouTube member. Only $2 per month. Until next time, yeah, bye.